All right, guys, we're going to try something for Tuesdays. It's going to be called Titan Tuesday. We're just going to talk about the Titans, being that I am a Titans fan. This will be the first episode of hopefully many. I just like to really go through, see what really was happening. I mean, it's Tuesday, so it's still early. I know that they're not having practice until Wednesday. So I did notice that there's quite the, I want to say biasm, but I mean, let's be honest, no one really is going to show the Titans any love on any sort of power ranking or any ranking system at all. Usually works better for us to fly under the radar anyway. I just do think it's kind of crazy how you can beat supposedly the best team in the AFC. They're top 5 in every power ranking, and you move up either 1 or 2 spots from when you were ranked in the lower 20s. Kind of BS, but hey, whatever. Like I said, it's better to be the underdog, I feel like. No one really expects much out of you. So to get to some Titans news, they did sign a quarterback today of Austin Davis, I believe. I don't really know too much about him. This just lets me know that they do not expect Gabbert to come back. And with that hit, I didn't expect him to come back as soon as it happened. The concussion protocol varies. My concern is major for if Adoree Jackson can come back. I'd really like to see that. I go back and forth on, if Adoree should really return punts or not. I understand he's a playmaker. He does make things happen. But he's a crucial part of our defense. I mean, Logan Ryan's getting older. Malcolm Butler has kind of struggled a little bit with the deep ball. Adoree's probably been one of our most consistent corner. So to see him out there returning punts, getting blasted, it's not exactly what you really hope to see. I'm trying to really break down what I think is going to happen this week. We did just put Kevin, I'm never going to pronounce his last name correctly, Kevin P. I'll just say we did put Kevin P. on the IR. So he had tore his tricep. He's done. Hopefully Jack Conklin will be back in time. I believe he will be, or at the very least Dennis Kelly. I know he had some serious virus. I mean, he was in the hospital for a few days. So if all goes according to plan, we should have Conklin or Kelly back in that right tackle spot. Tyler Mars, I know they'll bring up. He played in the Texans game. He played well. I mean, hey, here's your first NFL game. Go block J.J. Watt. And no one's ever going to make that one-on-one, but hey, we won the game. Gabbert wasn't murdered on the field, so I'll take that as a check. So going forward with, the Philadelphia Eagles coming in, defending Super Bowl champions, Carson Wentz back, they got the win under their belt. One of the concerns I do have is that Jacksonville never tested the Titans deep. They kind of set their game plan. The Titans basically said, listen, we're going to give you these 8-yard out routes, and go ahead, Blake, I dare you to make them. And Blake was unable to make them. So we kind of played to that weakness. Now, Carson Wentz, he can make those passes. He is going to test us deep. So I'm a little interested to know how the defensive game plan is going to change. They claim that Ajayi and Darren Sproles are both going to be back too. So, lucky us, we get to face them full strength. But hey, on the flip side, I would rather if we beat them, then it's just another step to us being more legitimate than we already are. Hoping that, Mariota gets a little bit more feeling in his fingertips. Maybe they unleash a little bit more of the playbook. I'm not going to lie, I don't want to say this, and I know many of you are going to cringe when I say this. These wins are oddly reminiscent of the Mike Mularkey era. And that's not a good feeling to have. I do hope, however, that when LaFleur gets, healthy Marcus back and we start being able to dive deeper into the playbook, we won't just be doing, I'm not saying gimmicks, but I mean, the Wildcat was kind of in desperation because, we were trying to do anything with our patchwork O-line to get the ball moving. So I really hope that, LaFleur is going to be able to implement a little bit more of the playbook this week, because the Philadelphia defense is legitimate. They have solid players in secondary, linebacking core, and on the defensive line. They're going to bring the heat. They are going to, they're going to force Marcus to throw deep. Everyone else saw what we saw. I don't know if it was whether that they thought that Marcus couldn't throw that far, or if they didn't, there was no need to test the Jacksonville corners, so why would we? But I can guarantee you that they're gonna push to make the deep throw. They're gonna do man to man. They're really gonna make it, see if he's able to throw or not. And I mean, I've seen the videos of him throwing. I'm in no belief that he might not be able to, but then again, throwing when you can't feel two fingers, it's a scary thing. So the other aspect on the defensive side of it, what I really think needs to be focused on is that I guess I'm not as afraid of their run game as I am Carson Wentz really just carving us up. So I'm not really sure with the fact I did see Jayon Brown go out. I think he came back in. Rashad Evans went out. I mean, I'd really like to see some of these younger linebackers that we have groomed, and we let Avery Williamson go. I'd like to see them come into their own and start carving out a little bit bigger side. I mean, Woodyard's been the guy's been fantastic. The guy, he's they call him Captain America. I mean, he's a stud. He does what he does every Sunday. You can always count on him to go out there and do his job, and I'm glad that he's there teaching these younger linebackers. I'm really excited to see. Hopefully, Harold Landry will take some more pressure from Rack and Morgan. They're getting older. I mean, Morgan I think is 31. Rackpo's about the same age, maybe a little older. So I'd like to preserve these guys a little bit for later in the season and really give Landry some opportunity here to really get after the quarterback. He's really looked good. I mean, that bend that he can do, that bend around the corner is nothing short of like incredible. Jarrell Casey this year has been, stalwart. He's the anchor of that defensive line. I mean, he's done exactly what is needed to be done. And my favorite player on the defense is Kevin Byard. I mean, the guy. They don't really test him as much as they did last year. I think that they're actually throwing away from him. I did notice that the defensive scheme was different last week, though. It was we kept one safety over the top, and then we kind of let Vaccaro roam a little bit. So, they weren't throwing deep. Byard, what can he do? You're not throwing deep, then what can really happen? So I really think that those has got to be like the key points that they're going to focus on this week. I mean, I don't really know what they can get Austin Davis up to speed. I know I'm not going to say it. I mean, Mariota's going to start and finish the game. I'm going to say it right now. He's going to start and finish the game. Because God, I hope so. I don't know how quickly you can spin up a guy to run the offense that you just signed today. I mean, it's not like he's a well-versed journeyman. I mean, he's not really, like I said, I barely know the name. So, I mean, it's obviously somebody they're comfortable with running. And, the whole aspect of the rest of the AFC South is kind of in flux a little bit. I mean, outside of the Jaguars, but I mean, I don't know what the Texans and the Colts are really thinking right now. I think the Colts are still trying to, they're still going to try to, test out Andrew Luck, but I did want to mention something that was a little concerning to me. I know Andrew Luck doesn't have a cannon. He doesn't have a howitzer for an arm, as they said, Josh Allen does. But that last Hail Mary for the game, they subbed out Luck, and they put in Jacoby Brissett to throw that 50-yard pass. I mean, it's a long pass, but that's a pass Andrew Luck should and has made. So I guess I'm a little concerned. No, I'm not concerned for them, but I guess as a Titans fan, I mean, that might be a legitimate strategy when we do play them. Try to make him throw deep. I haven't seen him really connect a good deep ball. And, I mean, T.Y. Hilton's more dangerous after the catch anyway. So I don't know if they're trying to fool people or how that's going. And as far as the Texans go, I mean, the only reason why the game's been close is because of J.J. Watt's been absolutely murdering every offensive line he's gone against. But they haven't looked good either. I really think that their defense has become overrated. I didn't really see Clowney's stat line, but hey, whatever. But that's this first episode of Titans Tuesday. Just as a note, I'm trying to find a Eagles YouTuber slash video analyst guy like me or girl to have like a cross commentary before the game. I don't know if anyone knows of anybody or if anyone can find anybody. I've reached out to a few people. I haven't heard anything back. But I think that would be cool to have kind of a back and forth between, me and an Eagles fan, and really just kind of, see where we thought our teams would be and where they are, and then kind of do like a cross analysis. So if anyone knows of anybody like that, that'd be great. Till then, tighten up, and I'll probably be posting some more content tomorrow or Thursday. Have a good night.